Well, hello, fiber friends. Welcome to another episode of the Knit, Knot, and Weave podcast. My name is Dorothy, and I am coming to you from Columbia, Maryland. This is my little corner of the YouTube where I document and share my fibery adventures with you all. That could be anywhere from knitting and crocheting to weaving, yarn dyeing, or spinning, or any other crafty rabbit hole I seem to fall down. If this sounds like something that is of interest to you, grab a cup of something to drink, grab a craft to work on, and let's get started. So hello friends, welcome back again. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and joining me. And if you are new to the podcast, welcome to the crazy. So I hope you all have something to drink. I have a little coffee, a little afternoon coffee in my Grinch mug, which also happens to say, Merry Grinchmas, because who doesn't love the Grinch? And I have a few things to share with you guys today, and then some advents to share. So without further ado, let's move on to finished objects. So my first finished object is a small one, but it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 separate pieces. It's just another set of scrubbies that I made. I used the leftovers from the blue from last week and mixed it with the silver, and then I made a whole bunch of silver ones. And this was made out of Red Heart Scrubby Sparkle, I think it's called. It's definitely a very polyester nylon-y material. It's a little bit rougher than their regular scrubby, but my family seems to love them. So every year I tend to knit a bunch of these, and throughout the year I tend to knit a bunch of dishcloths, and then I just put them out for my family to pick through and pick the ones they want. So I tend to get out of the Scrubby Sparkle, I tend to get usually anywhere between 10 and 12, depending upon, I guess, how tight I knit them. I use a H hook. I use an H hook, and I will link to my project page, and I will have, I guess I'll put in the basic instructions, because I don't really follow a pattern. I just sort of have done circles for so long that I don't know. And then next up, I'm so excited. I'm so happy to have this finished. It is my sister's Tetris blanket. I am so happy. This is finished. This is my sister's Tetris blanket. Look at all these colors. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So I will put in a picture of it all laid out, because there's no way I can hold this up and do it any justice. But oh, I am so happy this is finished. It's got the black portion up here, and you could see like one piece is falling down here that's going to go down into this spot, and I'm just, oh my God, I'm so happy this is finished. It only took me 2 years. Whenever I make blankets, it always takes me forever, especially modular blankets. But so the yarn that I used is, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending upon who you are, it is Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn. Most of this, believe it or not, was picked up from yarn swaps, and it is a nice yarn. I will not go to the store and buy it myself, but if I find it at a swap, or what's another good place that I tend to find it? Oh, sometimes in Facebook Marketplace, somebody might be selling some or giving some away. And then there's a really neat group on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, that's called Buy Nothing, and it's usually for your local area. So I am part of Buy Nothing in Columbia, and sometimes people will post yarn that they're looking to give away or for free, because it's, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Or you can even put out an ask sometimes. So that's what I tend to do when I'm trying to find some Hobby Lobby yarn, because I won't spend my money there, but it's nice yarn, which is a shame. But I'm done. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I am so happy. I think she's going to be super, super excited to get this. And I cannot wait to see her face. So there is a pattern up on Ravelry for it. It is a knitted pattern. I did not do it knitted. I did all solid granny squares. So basically you start in the center, and I do, these were made with double crochets and a triple crochet. So my corner stitches are 2 double crochets, 1 triple, and then 2 doubles. And that's how I do all my corners. And I usually join in the corners. I start and end in a corner because it makes it easier for joining for this particular blanket. I did on where I was joining like colored squares together, I did just fold them over and crocheted them together through the back loop. I used the slip stitch method, and this way when you open it up, it almost looks like it's just a flat piece. And then because I really did like the look of the black in between all the pieces, oops, sorry guys, because I did like all the black to sort of be in between the colored pieces to sort of distinguish the different looks or the different blocks. I did, I'm not really quite sure what this stitch is called. I tend to just call it the zigzag joining stitch, where you would crochet, I don't know even sure how to explain this. So when I crocheted this together, I would crochet into 2 of the top stitches of the blue, and then do a slip stitch there, and then I would crochet into the next available stitch into the silver here and do a slip stitch. And so you're kind of going back and forth to join, and it makes this really neat. I hope you can see it. It makes a really neat kind of like a zigzaggy stitch. You could see in the back here, it shows up how you're crocheting in this side, then here, and you're going back and forth between the two. I kind of wish that was on the front, but whatever. It's finished. I'm thoroughly, thoroughly pleased with it. I did a double crochet border all the way. Did I do a double or a half double? Now I can't remember. I think I did a double crochet border all the way around. And again, I did, it looks like 3 stitches in the corner stitches. Yeah, 3 stitches in each of the corners. So I have no idea. I have to find a box big enough to wrap this in, but I'm so happy this is done. I can't even explain to you guys. I'm just, wow. So this was started in September of 2022. Yes, September of 2022. And I had made, I want to say the first year I made all the colored squares, all the individual colored squares. It only took one skein of each color to make the 12 crocheted squares. I used a size H. I used a size H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter hook, I believe. Anyhow, so I made all the colored blocks were made from one skein, and I was able to get 12 squares for each color. And then the gray, I think I used 3 skeins of the gray and about 3 skeins of the black. So yeah, so this is all finished, all this loveliness. So, and that is all I have for finished objects. I am slowly but surely moving along. There is a little over 1 week left till Christmas, and I still have a few more things to get finished. So, let's move on to whips. So for whips, the first I'm going to share are my socks that I'm making for my brother-in-law. They are in my Knit for Brains bag. This is an Etsy shop. I'm not sure if she's still making bags or not. But I am using mustache yarn again, or mustache yarn in, they call it the Sea Droid number 3 colorway, which technically is really the C-3PO colorway from her Star Wars collection. And oops, I'm stuck. Okay, I'm unstuck. So here we have the toes done. Right here is where I will need to cut in for the heels. And so I am about, let's see, where is it? So I'm about halfway up the leg at this point. So just a little bit more, and then I can get started on the cuff, which I will be also making in this gray. So hopefully these will get finished. But I do have a book for him as a backup in case I don't. And then he may get these for Befana, which is what Italians call so the Epiphany or Little Christmas is on January 7th, and in Italy we call that the night that La Befana comes, which is basically a kind of like a Christmas witch, and children leave their socks out, and the little Christmas witch fills their socks. The tale is that she had seen the North Star, she had heard about it, but she either never found the barn, or she didn't make it, and so she's still going around visiting children and leaving them little gifts in hopes of eventually finding baby Jesus. At least I'm pretty sure that's the story. So Editing Dorothy here. I had to do a quick Google search to remember what the story was for La Befana so that I could share it properly with you. So the tradition of La Befana is on January 6th, is also known as La Befana. In Italian folklore, Befana, an old soot-covered woman or witch who delivers presents to Italian children on the night before La Befana, the Epiphany Eve. The story goes that on their way to see the infant Jesus, the Magi stopped to ask Befana for directions and asked her to join them. She initially refused, but later had a change of heart and tried to find the manger. She was unable to find the baby Jesus and gave the gifts as she brought to other children. To this day, she travels on her broomstick every year on January 5th, looking for the manger and giving her presents to any Italian children who leave out a shoe or hangs up a stocking on Epiphany Eve. And that is the legend of La Befana. I hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, so if I don't finish these in time for Christmas, he will get his book, and then I will send these up to him for Little Christmas in January. Next up is my mom's top, which is in this bag by Awesome Granny. Bags by Awesome Granny. I have gotten a little bit further. So I need to be, so here we are. So one of these days I do want to put it on a mannequin and maybe at least steam block out the top. This is as far as I've gotten on the bottom, and since it's so light, I decided to go ahead and start on the sleeves. So I've picked up one of the sleeves and I've done it looks like about an inch, and then I'll give it a few more rows, and then I will pick up the other sleeve and get to that same point, and then I will put them both on one needles and knit my sleeves 2 at a time, because the pattern calls for short sleeves, but my mom doesn't really wear short sleeves. She wears more 3/4 length sleeves, so that's what I'm going to do for these. So we're getting a little bit further. The yarn is Galileo, and it's a Knit Picks yarn. It's very nice. It's a 50-50 blend of merino wool and then bamboo, and it is really, really nice to work with. I will put all the information about these. Oh, I forgot to mention, the links to everything will be in the description box below. If you would like to find me out on the interweb anywhere, I will post it somewhere over here where you could find me on Ravelry and Instagram and all that fun stuff. But hopefully this will get done in time for Christmas. But like I said last week, I'm not too worried about it, because at least if it's not, my mom can try it on and I can get a better idea of maybe how much I need to decrease for the sleeves and how much longer I want to make the body. And that's that. And now my last whip is also a brand new cast on. I know, I'm crazy. What am I doing casting on another Christmas gift at this late stage of the game? I don't know. But I think I'm going to blame this one all on Tammy from Cinematic Skeins. And if you aren't watching her, go ahead and check out her podcast, because I will link her down below. But she made this pattern. It is the Mexican blanket, and for the life of me, I can't think of who the designer is. But it is the Mexican blanket, and she made it, and she made a second one that she made a little bit bigger. She changed the my brain is not working tonight. Words are not coming. It is not modular knitting. Motifs. Oh, crap. Why is my brain not working? Anywho, she made this, and she made this fairly quickly, and so I thought, well, I started looking, oops, I started looking at other projects on Ravelry, and lots of people were able to knit this in just a few days, so I figured, why not? I don't know, why not? Because you've only got a week till Christmas, Dorothy, that's why not. But here it is. So I am using, this is Fisherman's, this is Woolies Thick and Quick. This is the Fisherman colorway. This light blue is Air Force. This darker blue is Petrol Blue. This gray is Gray Marble, and I specifically picked the gray marble instead of the gray because there are flecks of brown in here, and this is going to be for my niece, and these are the colors that are here in her living room, and so I think she's really gonna like it. And I am about at the halfway mark. Technically I'm supposed to do another repeat of this and then this going backwards, but I want to make it a little bit longer, so I'm thinking of repeating this section here, and hopefully I will have enough. I am working on size 15 needles, and these are my Chow-Goos. After reading several of the comments on Ravelry, a lot of people were complaining that this motif here, and why am I not thinking of the technique? I don't know. But a lot of people were complaining that it sort of pulled it in because of the way because it's a lot of slip stitch modular. No, it's not modular knitting. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But they were saying that due to the motif, it was pulling in. So for this section, I did go up a needle size. I went up to a size 17. I was low. Size 15 is a, oh, what is it? I think it's a 10 millimeter. Yeah, so size 15 is a 10 millimeter, and size 17 is, I think it was a 12.75 millimeter. Yeah, so size 17 is a 12.75 millimeter. I was looking around on the internet to see if I could find maybe an 11 millimeter needle, but apparently there is no such thing, because I thought that maybe this 17 was going to be a bit too loose, being that it was almost 3 millimeters bigger than the 15s or the 10 millimeters that I'm using. But I think it worked out pretty nicely. Now it is rolling in because it's all stockinette, but there will be a border. There will be a border that gets added at the edge. So I'm thinking of repeating this again before I finish. So this is the halfway mark. So I still have this to knit in reverse up here, and then I may measure it to see if just repeating this portion would get me a length that would work, because her fiance is pretty tall, and I'd like it to make it tall enough so that at least he could snuggle under it too. My niece is a little 5 foot nothing, but, and I did add 2 extra repeats for the motif because I also wanted it a little bit wider. But it's a very quick knit because it's made on big needles. You're using big yarns, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. It does cause my hands some issues. So I try to do one section a night and then give my hands a rest and start knitting on something smaller. The knitting on the size 17s was actually a little cumbersome, but luckily I only have to use it for one portion. And when I went from the size 17s back down to the 15s, it was like my hands were like, oh, normal size needles, even though 15s are pretty large needles. But anywho, hopefully this will get finished by Christmas, and if not, again, it's no big deal. I will just wrap it as far as I have gotten. My niece lives 9 minutes away from me, so it's not like I'm going to have to ship this to her, and she'll definitely get it by New Year's Day, right? So I am really, really pleased with how this is coming out. I'm actually debating on maybe buying some more yarn in my colors, which I don't know what my colors would be because I really want to repaint my house, but we'll see. But anyhow, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. And now, oh, I don't know if you guys heard that beep, but that's my crock pot telling me my chili is done. Yummy chili for dinner. So anyway, let's move on to Advent. Okay, so the first Advent I'm going to share is I'm moving forward with Yarn Ink, and it is the Friends Advent, sorry. And so here is number 9. Ooh. And 9 is Was That Place the Sun? Ten is Oh My God. Oh My God. Pretty. Love that color. 11 is No Uterus, No Opinion. This is going to be a really pretty fade. 12 is Nestle Toulouse. I don't know that one. It's a pretty purple. Ooh, I would want a sweater in that. Ooh. 13 is We Were on a Break. We Were on a Break. That's a pretty purple too. Ooh. 14 is Guys Can Fake It? Unbelievable. Pretty violety blue. 15 is Joey Doesn't Share Food. Pretty. We're getting into the teals. 16 is He's So Pretty I Want to Cry. Look at that. Oh, I want a sweater in that. Ooh, that is my teal. And then 17 is See, here's her lobster. Oh, I don't know if I like this one better or the other one. Oh, so pretty. So that takes us up to today. And I may try and get one more in before Christmas. I'm not positive. I may need as much time as I can to finish Christmas gifts. So if not, I will share the full Advent on the next episode, and you can always follow me on Instagram, and I will definitely post the rest of these as I open them on Instagram. So again, that was yarn ink. Next up, we have the Hedgehog Fibers Fiber Advent. And what a cute box. May need my glasses to read these. So this is 50% superfine merino and 50% baby camel. Looks like it was all left in the neutral. Yep, I think this is all left in the neutral colorways. 10 is 50% Rambouillet, 38% BFL, and 12% Sari silk. Ooh, nice. I like those pops of green. 11 is 100% superwash merino. Very pretty. 12 is superfine merino, 70%, and 30% cashmere. Woohoo! So nice. Day 13 is 50% superwash BFL, 25% silk, and 25% glitter. And ooh, look at that. Ooh, beautiful. $14 is 100% Cori, and that's Cordale. Pretty bright colors. This will be fun. $15 is 50% superfine merino, 50% baby camel. Ooh, pretty colors. Nice. 16 is 50%. Oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted by the colors. 50% Rambouillet, 38% BFL, and 12% Sari silk. Look at that. Oh, gorgeous. And then 17 is 100% superwash merino. Woohoo! Nice. And that brings us up to date on the Hedgehog Fibers. So next up we have the World of Wool Fiber Advent. We have day number 9. It's called, I don't know what I'm about to say, Necked Rupert. And let's see, who is that? Those who know German folklore may be familiar with Knecht Rupert as a companion I can read tonight, of St. Nicholas. So this is 30% merino, 20% alpaca, 15% BFL, 15% Polworth, 8% tribal nylon, 6% flax, and 6% tussa silk. Wow, that's a mix of fibers. Oh, and it looks like they left it all natural. And these are nice 50 grams of fiber. So this will be nice to work with. This will also be giving me a nice idea of what it'll feel like too. Ten is Kevin! I'm assuming that's from Home Alone. Am I right? So this is 50% Shetland, 25% Cheviot, and 25% BFL. Ooh, look at that. Oh, so pretty. Nice. $11 is Melkwire. Who Melkwire was? Nope, I don't know who it was. This one is 37.5% Punta Arenas, 37.5% Merino, and 25% Sari silk. Wow. Talk about gold, the gift of the Magi. So pretty. I know, I am not a yellow person. This would have to be mixed with something. Tammy, you want it? I know how much you love yellow. $12 is Yule Cat, and it is 37.5% Icelandic, 37.5% Cordell, and 25% bamboo. And oh my, I'll bet you this is black Icelandic. Look at that. Oh my God. And I'll bet you that green is probably the bamboo. Ooh, cannot wait. Can't wait to get finished with Christmas gifts so I can start spinning again. Okay, 13 is Lutzelfra. I'm guessing that's another German word. Yep, from Germany. This one is 62.5% Cordell, 25% soybean. I've never spun soybean. And 12.5% Tussa silk. My word, look at that. That reminds me of like the sugar plum fairies. This is definitely a fairy color. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. I don't know how they got some of these in the packages. Oh my goodness. Okay. $14 is the Nutcracker. I think we all know what that one is. This is another interesting one. 50% Eider, E-I-D-E-R. 25% Cashgore, which I think is a blend of cashmere and angora, maybe? And 25% bleached Tussa silk. Ooh, interesting. Pretty. This one is Wenceslas, I think. Excuse me if I am mispronouncing any of these. 75% superfine merino and 25% Peduncle silk? Peduncle silk? I've never heard of that. Ooh, interesting. Very Grinchy feeling. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Have you guys watched The Grinch yet this year? I have not. But I'm sure I will before the 25th comes around. $16 is Tomty. This is another long one. 34% Shetland, 30% South American, 16% mulberry silk, 8% viscose, 8% merino, and 4% tussa silk. And ooh, this is definitely Christmassy. Very nice. This is going to be so much fun spinning all these up. And then the last one, 17. Is Cheeses for Mises from the Muppets. Okay, this is 62.5% BFL, 25% milk fiber, and 12.5% Erie silk. Or Erie silk? I'm not. Ooh. I'm thinking that's probably all natural. It's like a very, very light buttery color. Look at the sheen to it. I wonder if the sheen is the milk or the silk. Pretty. So that is it for the Advents for this week. Like I said, I'm going to try and get one more episode in before Christmas to share the rest of the Advents. I will probably definitely open up the rest of my fiber Advents. I will have to check with a friend to see if I can open up the rest of the yarn ink because she bought the same Advent as me. So I don't know if she'll want to see the colors ahead of time or not, or for all I know, she may have opened all 25 already. Who knows? But anywho, so that is it for my Advents. I will try my best to get one more episode out before Christmas. Share with you hopefully a finished blanket and hopefully a finished top for my mom, but we'll see. I may be like opening Christmas gifts like this because I'll be knitting so much these next week. God, Christmas is next week. Oh my God. Every year I keep telling myself, start earlier. And I did. I started my father's sweater back in February. But then the warm weather came out and I put it down because I can't knit itchy wool in the summer. Anyhow, I hope you are all crafting to your heart's content. If you are still crafting Christmas gifts, let me know in the comments below. What are you hoping to get finished? What are you working on? I really do enjoy reading your comments. If this is not a very happy time for you, please call a friend, call a family member, call someone you love. If you need to, call one of the hotlines for some professional help. I know this is a difficult time for some folks, but please, you have to do this for yourself. Nobody can do it for you. If you are working, I hope that things are starting to slow down. I know that this weekend will be the start of my holiday break. So I will be off work starting Friday until January second, third. I think I go back to work on the 2nd. I think school starts back up on the 2nd over here. And I don't know, whatever I was going to say just went out of my brain. So on that note, I will bid you good night. I do so enjoy you guys visiting with me again. If you have enjoyed this episode, please do give me a thumbs up. Hit that like button. If you have not already, please hit that subscribe button. It really does help my channel grow and get my algorithm up so that other folks can find me. And I hope you are all having a wonderful, wonderful holiday season, winter season, summer season if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. And I'm going to say good night. Love you all. Ciao, ciao.